All right. Let's start off with, as always, we'll talk about the metagame first. Then we'll talk about the successful decks of the tournament. And then we'll get into some of the deck lists after that. But the metagame wasn't anything too crazy, I don't think. I'm going to combine the variants here because I think it's a bit better to get a better view of the tournament. Golden Go, 22% of the metagame. That was a little bit higher than I would have predicted for sure. Yeah, by far the most popular deck, because second most popular was Dragapult at 15%, and then Charizard variants. This includes Charizard, as well as like just Pidgeysard, which is what I played at the tournament. I just played Pidgeysard at 14%. Gardevoir, Jelly, and non-Jelly. Well, actually, the same amount of Charizard and Guardy players, both at 14.38. Jelly Guardy and non-Jelly Guardy. And there's a pretty big drop-off after that. Like, you have these... And then from 14%, Gardevoir decks were 14% to Zoroark decks at 4%. This is an extremely top-heavy metagame, which I think now that this is kind of like confirmed where like the numbers are sitting at, I mean, you could look at this like moving forward for the rest of this format. I don't know how many tournaments we have in this format. We got two more tournaments this weekend. We got Merida and Birmingham. And then after that, is it Sydney? Am I trolling? Maybe. I actually just don't remember. But you could kind of ignore every deck outside of the top. Like, you don't have to have a good Zoroark matchup. You don't have to have a good Grimmsnarl matchup. You don't have to have a... Well, obviously, you don't have to have a good Alakazam matchup. You don't have to worry about Mega Box. Like, this is what is it? We got 65% of the metagame is in the top 4 decks. Am I doing my math right? Yeah, 65. Yeah, basically just like 65, right? 65, 66% of the metagame is in the top half. So, yeah. I guess I didn't expect it to be like that condensed in the top half. I think it's been a while since the format has been so narrow. Maybe since Worlds. I feel like the format at Worlds was really narrow as well. I think it's been like maybe since Worlds that the format has been this narrow. 70% day 2. Yeah, that'd be actually worth taking a look at. Into day 2, it like even gets more narrow, right? It's like 70%. The only other thing to take a look at would be like conversion rates, but I don't think there's anything crazy in the conversion rates, to be honest. The highest relevant conversion rate was Gardevoir at 24%. And then we see like the other top decks: 22 for Charizard, 21 for Dragapult, and then I guess Golden Go had the worst. Ooh, okay, maybe that's something to worth look at. Like Golden Go had a pretty bad conversion rate in comparison to the other most popular decks. So maybe that's something to look at there. But yeah, nothing crazy for the rest. No huge outlier for conversion rate, I feel like, overall. Maybe Golden Go is the outlier in terms of poor conversion rate, I guess. Or converting. I'm trying to look, what is the worst? There was 36 Mega Lopunny. One of them made it. 54 Mega Kangaskhan, only 6 made it. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. And then we get to the standings. Take a look at the... Guardy did win the tournament. Giovanni Sasso, pretty good player. Had his come up with his second-year master now. Had his come up last season as a first-year master with a really, really successful start to the season. And then the second half of the season, honestly, I feel like Giovanni had a pretty quiet follow-up to his super explosive start. But starting off this season... pretty well. I don't know how many majors he's been to this season so far. Probably 2 or 3 would be my guess. But getting the win here in Toronto with the Gardevoir. It is Guardy Jelly. I mean, there's like 2 main ways that people are playing Gardevoir right now. It's the Guardy Jelly type build like this one. I feel like this build was kind of popularized by Henry Chow and crew at LAIC. The thin Guardy line, the 2-1-2, the 3 rare candy. We see the Mega Diancie being played here for the dark decks, and then also has the Team Rocket's Watchtower as well, and like a further tech for the dark decks, and is playing the TM Devo. So I feel like this list specifically from Giovanni was like super prepared for Charizard. Like Watchtower, Mega Diancie, TM Devo, like had all the cards in here for that matchup specifically. Watchtower can be like cute against other decks as well, I guess, but Hazel, just want to say that your thumbnails are fire and your design is awesome. Don't mind the miserable people saying shits about it. Oh yeah, of course. Appreciate it. Appreciate tier 1 sub there. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but I appreciate tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Rat Pack. And he faced Nozard. Oh, did he really face Nozard? That's kind of funny. Yeah, Giovanni, obviously great player, getting the dub with Jelly Guardy. But, like, there's nothing crazy, I feel like, that stands out in the list. It's just, like, these are all, like, relevant cards we knew could be played in Guard for. People would play in Guard for. Mega Diancie. Like, we identify the Guardy line, right? The 2-1-2-3 candy. It's like, played the Mega Diancie, played the TM Devo, played the Watchtower. Those are the tech cards of choice here for Giovanni. No TM Evo. Anything like that. I was gonna say something else on that as well. Someone said something in chat. Oh yeah, he faced no Charizard. I really like that we can like go back and look at this. I mentioned this on the podcast as well when me and Chip took a look at it. But yeah, first round ties against the Alakazam. It's just kind of funny. He also had, ooh, honestly, that's kind of a bad tie because Giovanni was running Triple Stadium to deal with the Battle Cage and also had a Watchtower. That's actually a really bad tie, to be honest, based on Giovanni's list. I think like a Guardy list that has like 2 stadiums and no Watchtower, you're like, okay, I tied it Alakazam, whatever. But actually for Giovanni's list, that's like a pretty bad tie to take. That should be like a pretty favorable matchup with the list that he was playing, I feel like. I feel like it's got to be pretty favorable for sure. But yeah, didn't actually end up playing against any Charizards. Despite his list, I would assume, is like pretty good against Charizard. Like you got the 3 cards that you could play in there to have against it. Went against Zoro and Grim, though. Yeah, did beat Zoro Grim, beat an Absol. So I'm sure the Mega Diancie was doing some work for him in those matchups for sure. And Giovanni did take down Andreas with the Raging Bolt, a deck I would not have predicted to make finals, obviously, or even top cut. But I will say, because I'm sure some people are curious, I still don't think Raging Bolt is that good of a deck, to be honest. I still don't think Raging Bolt's that good of a deck. It did make the finals, which is cool. And hey, listen, I want Raging Bolt to succeed. All these decks that I don't think are that good, I want them to be good and succeed. Because this is a pretty boring, stale format / metagame. There's like the top 4 decks that we just took a look at in the meta breakdown. They're by far the superior decks above most of the other decks. I think the only deck that I would argue is maybe on par with them is Zoroark, personally. I think Zoroark is maybe the one deck that is on par with the top 4 in terms of power level, but it is like a deck that like it's never a popular deck. Like people don't gravitate towards the Zoroark deck. So yeah, cool to see Raging Bolt get second place here, make it to the finals, and definitely like a fairly innovative list, I guess I would say. I mean, the Water Pawn isn't anything crazy. We've been seeing that in Raging Bolt a decent amount. Usually you see it alongside the Crystal, though, I feel like. What we see in this build here, heavy on the Crispin, is playing the E-Switch, plays the Vitality Man as well, so the Water Pawn can actually take like a 2-prize turn into a Soul Rock or Lunatone active, which is pretty cool. They have to make a Kangaskhan in here as well. That's the card I'm most curious about from this build, is where does the Mega Kangaskhan come into play? Where does that happen? The Mega Kangaskhan, where does that come into play overall? Notable Fez. I mean, you kind of have to play Baby Raging Bolt right now because of how popular Charizard is. Like, you can't be out there sniping with Fez as your initial attacker. If the Water Pond doesn't line up, you have to be using Baby Raging Bolt for sure. Gotta be doing that. Monkeys too. Yeah, also gives you the KO on the Monkey Dory for sure. Helps with Iono. What helps with Iono? Oh, the Kangaskhan? Yeah, sure. But there's a lot of matchups where you don't want it in play, though. So I'm curious, like, what matchups you're aggressive with the Kangaskhan being in play or attacking with it. Like, either as an attacker or just, like, putting it in play for draw power. Kang's good for the Paul matchup. If you're attacking with it, yes. If you're not attacking with it, not really, right? So, yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Is like, when does the Kangaskhan make the most sense to utilize? Because it is also a 3-prize Pokemon, which can drastically change how your opponent prize trades, leaving that in play. So, yeah, the Kangaskhan is the thing I'm most curious about for sure. And then we had quite a few Pults. Quite a few Pults in cut. Now, I think this is something that I say a lot post-tournament, but I just feel like I need to get better at realizing this in the moment. Like, going into the tournament, Golden Go is obviously going to be the most prepared against deck and teched for deck in the whole tournament. And I think we definitely saw that, right? Like, the deck everyone was teching for was Golden Go. And that is one of Pult's harder matchups. Like Pulse generally is like unfavored against Guardy, unfavored against Golden Go. Not by like a ridiculous amount, but you're definitely unfavored. And I mean, being unfavored against the 2 most popular decks in the room is not like a good thing. Obviously, you don't want to be. Well, I guess like Dragapult was technically the 2nd most popular deck, right? Yeah, Guardy was up there though. We could definitely argue Golden Go and Guard for like the 2 most powerful decks in the format, probably. Probably say that. But I think at least there's some of Pulse success here for sure. It's like Charizard was pretty popular. The Charizard decks are favored against the Golden Go decks. The Pult decks favored against the Charizard decks. Golden Go is the most popular deck, and Pult can beat Golden Go at a pretty reasonable rate as well. It's not like a terrible matchup. So I think that's why we see a decent amount of success here from Pult. Just where the metagame was kind of at in terms of teching. Most people were trying to tech for Golden Go. Like, Golden Go was the deck to tech for this tournament. And that might carry over into this next weekend as well, to be honest, where we see, like, similar potential for Pult to succeed. I think we could see that again for Pult having maybe a pretty successful weekend next weekend as well, because I don't know if that's much is going to change between the Toronto results and the way what people are going to play for, like, Birmingham and Merida. It'll be interesting. So I can see Pult being reasonably more, or still reasonably successful, especially at Birmingham. I feel like more top players in Europe play Pult than any other region, probably. So there might be something there. But we can go through all the Pult lists real fast here in the top cut. Jones here playing the Moltres. So was, as far as teching for Golden Go goes, Jones here was playing the Moltres in the deck. And actually the energy split is a little bit interesting too. I mean, something crazy, but decided to cut a Luminous over cutting the Psychic to include the second fire to have more access to the Moltres as well. Let's hear from Jack. Played the Maractus. We haven't seen the Maractus in there for a while. Actually, did Jones play the Monkey Dory? No Monkey Dory from Jones as well. I guess if you're cutting the Luminous, that makes more sense to cut the Luminous then, I guess, right? Jack here played the Maractus. We haven't seen the Maractus in a while, I feel like. Yeah, when was the last time I saw a Maractus in a Dragapult deck? Which can be used as a win condition against Golden Go, but is also just good against other matchups as well. Maractus is an interesting inclusion. I have to imagine the Maractus actually can line up decently well into Golden Go, because you can Maractus the Soul Rock or Lunatone. And then if Golden Go wants to attack for turn, they have to Turo, or I guess if they have Prime Catcher, they get out of it, right? But if they have to Turo, then they're not bossing. They KO the Maractus, they take 6. That's up for like a knockout for the turn or something like that. Yeah. Draw play to NAIC, only time I can think of. Well, yeah, but usually straight Pult played. This is like Pult Nor. I'm speaking in terms of Pult Nor, not just Pult in general, I guess. Pult Nor, I feel like rarely has ever played a corner Pokemon. Straight Pult pretty much has always played a corner Pokemon, I feel like most straight Pult lists have played the corner Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the history of Pult that well, I guess. But yeah, had the Maractus in there. Who's up? Daniel next. Daniel played 3 Badoo and 2 Brock Scouting. So really trying to get off that turn 1 Badoo gameplay there. Besides that, really standard list. Only 2 Night Stretcher. I kind of like the idea of the 3rd Badoo. You open it more often. Whenever I play Pult Noir, I do find myself Night Stretching for Badoo pretty often. Rock Scouting is something I can't get behind quite as much, though, when Dawn exists in the format. But, I mean, they're all good cards. Dawn, Hilda, Rocks. Katie here. Maybe the most standard Pult Noir. Yeah, looks like... yeah, I mean... The other lists aren't too crazy, I guess. I wouldn't say the other lists are too wild. But this almost looks like is this literally the exact 60 that Alexander 60 or whatever? Looks like it might be. There's one research in there. There's the one research, yeah. One research, one Hilda. Research is kind of non-standard. I've been seeing it in some lists recently for sure. I mean, all the decks are like 58 cards, 57 cards. And the final list here for the Pults from Anthony. And yeah, once again, only play 2 boss. That's a big standout there, is only 2 boss. Honestly, if I had to rate these lists, this is my least favorite of the list because there's only 2 boss. You could be playing more boss and you're playing less boss. What are we doing? All right. There was another Jelly Guardian cut. Brent Tonneson, a pretty similar list as well. Just kind of, I guess, just kind of missing the watch. Is that the only difference between this list and the Giovanni list? Is just like minus a counter catcher plus a watchtower? It might be the only difference. Oh no, had 2 Bravery Charm as well, right? Giovanni had the TM Devo, 1 Bravery Charm. So it's like a two card difference here between Brent and Giovanni. Oh, plus a 3rd Ralts as well. Okay, so there's 3. Oh, minus 1 Nest Ball. Okay. So it's like counter catcher, Nest Ball, Bravery Charm for Devo, watchtower. Or it's Ralts, Bravery Charm, counter catcher for Devo, Nest Ball, watchtower. Whatever. Those 3 cards are the difference. Same difference. Oh yeah, also a research over an Arvin. Giovanni played the 1 Arvin. And we see the 1 research there from Brent. So like 4 card difference. Only 1 Golden Go in cut. And that's not even just it though. There's only 1 Golden Go in top cut, which top cut is like, that doesn't tell the whole story. Like if somebody doesn't make top cut, doesn't mean the deck like did poorly. Like the Charizards, right? The Charizards are like right here outside of cut. No Charizards in cut, which kind of makes sense for how many Palter in cut, I guess. But the thing with Golden Go, it's the most popular deck day 1, most popular deck day 2. Only 1 in cut, sure, that's fine. But the next highest placing Golden Go is Armand here at 58th place. So Golden Go, that's pretty bad. I think that kind of shows like how teched for Golden Go was. When the next highest placing one is 58th place. Like that's quite a ways down. And even if these tech cards don't, like, we look at this list here from Samuel real fast. Play double Moltres plus play Brave Bangle in Kangaskhan. We saw like the Moltres in the inclusion here in Jones's list. Like these inclusions, like they don't make you just like auto win Golden Go, right? Like I doubt Jones' list here like auto wins Golden Go. I doubt Samuel's list here auto wins Golden Go, right? But like, all right, now you have like a matchup against Golden Go. Now you can play the game against Golden Go, right? But all these like tech inclusions that don't exactly beat Golden Go, they chip away at like Golden Go's potential in the tournament. So even if I don't know what Sanjay have here for the Golden Go matchup. I would say Sanjay just did not tech for Golden Go at all. Yeah, for Sanjay here, it's actually the opposite. Sanjay just gave up on the Golden Go matchup, it looks like. This is like, yeah, it looks like Sanjay actually just gave up on the Golden Go matchup. Did Sanjay beat any Golden Go's? Did not play against a single Golden Go. Got away with it too. He got away with it. Didn't tech for Golden Go and just completely dodged Golden Go the whole tournament. Just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to tech for the deck. I'm not going to hit it either. Locks on with double Evital. Double Evital only beats Golden Go players if they misplay. Like, double Evital doesn't actually beat... If double Evital beat Golden Go, then this deck wouldn't even have to play Cornerstone. Double Evital is, like, not relevant against Golden Go at all. All right. That can also work. But then you had like Liam Halliburton here playing the 2/2 Toad Scroll. As far as like, you know, everyone had like their tech cards for Golden Go. None of these tech inclusions auto win Golden Go though. It like gives you a matchup, maybe a favorable matchup, like 50-50, slightly unfavorable to like favorable. Any of these tech cards do, but all of that chips away at the potential of Golden Go. And we said Golden Go had like a pretty bad tournament overall because everyone was prepared for it in terms of tech cards, but also play. Like that's one of the most like prepped for decks in the tournament. Like if someone's gonna sit down and be like, I need a test against a matchup, I'm gonna test against Golden Go, right? That's like the #1 deck on everyone's mind going into the tournament. So that does speak to, and I like bring this up a lot post-tournament. Like a deck, if a deck gets hated on enough, it's no longer that good of a play, even if it's a really good deck, and people have to work a lot to like tech for it. So yeah, I don't know. Golden Go might not be that good of a play going into Birmingham and Merida this upcoming weekend. Maybe it's because if it's kind of the same mindset going into the weekend, Golden Go might just be a pretty mid play, possibly. Not sure. I don't know how far people are going to maintain that thought process though, or like that maintaining that thought. Like if it's going to maintain, I imagine it would because there's like not that much time for a turnaround. not that much time to adjust and be like, maybe Golden Go's not that good of a play, so I'm not going to tech for Golden Go. I think everyone's going to still tech for Golden Go. We'll see, though. I think those are all the Dusknoir decks. There was a couple Grimmsnarl cut as well. Let's take a look at the Guardy here, though. Henry Chow playing the Henry Chow Guardy, which a lot of people played at the tournament, which is the non-jelly build. You still have the Frillish in there, which is still a really powerful card up against Golden Go. Did the tool split here, Bravery Charm, Lux Cape, and was probably the list that is like most prepared for Dragapult as well. 2 Arven, 2 TM Evo, 2 Kirlia, 3 Ralts. So setting up into your Gardevoir under item lock is like no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, this is the other build of Guardy that people were playing at the tournament. I have no clue which build of Guardy is better, to be honest. This build is good. Jelly build is good. It's all good. Yeah, then there was the Grimmsnarls here. Thick Frost last lines. Both of them playing the 3/3 Frost last. Also, both playing Badoo, which is interesting for sure. Badoo's not a card that you see too often in Grimmsnarl, but Badoo's pretty good against Golden Go. That might be a good enough reason to include it, to be honest. But the Grim list from Lewis isn't accurate. Oh, what's missing from the list? Or what's supposed to be different? Wait, so did he play with a different list at the tournament? He had 4 Stretch or 1 Poffin? Was his RK9 list wrong, though? No Diancie from Chow is weird. Yeah, No Diancie is interesting for sure, but... Mistake on his end. He got a round 1 loss in top cut. Oh, did he really? Got a game loss in ASIM for a wrong list. Oh, okay. Makes sense. So the whole tournament he was playing with the 4 Stretcher and then had to convert back to... Unlucky. I gotta double check. The list is supposed to be 4th Night Stretcher, 1 Buddy Poffin here for Lewis. And obviously, yeah, pretty straightforward list. Like, there's nothing too crazy besides, like, playing the Thick Frost last line, 4/4 or 3/3 last. Had the Badoo in there as well. Those are, like, the big standouts, I think, for sure. I guess you could also argue maybe, like, I feel like the exclusion of some cards that had seemed to be becoming, like, more normal, like the Yveltal. There's no Yveltal or Maractus in this build. No Petron EX. Going for the Ursaluna instead. Yeah, I guess like those would be like potential standouts as like exclusions instead of inclusions. Also playing the 3/1 split on the stadium, 3 Spikemuth, 1 Artisan. Oh, there's no Ultra Ball in here, so that makes a little bit more sense as well. No Ultra Ball. Going with the 3 Spikemuth. And then we had Jordan here playing Grimmsnarl as well. Did have the Tatsugiri. Did still play the Ultra Ball, but still played 3 Spikemuth as well in the 1 Artisan. I feel like we've seen like a lot of lists. Also, neither player played Super Odd, which was also a standout to me. No Super Odd in either list. Lewis was playing the 4 Night Stretcher. Well, had to play 3 in, what's it called? Jordan here also playing only 3 Night Stretcher, no Super Odd. And then did actually play 2 Buddy Poffin. Did play 2 Buddy Poffin, played the Ultra Ball. 3 Spikemuth, only 1 Counter Catcher. So a couple similarities in the list, especially in terms of the exclusions, and some of the inclusions as well, for sure. But yeah, Grim had a pretty good tournament. I'm sure people are curious. I still don't think Grimmsnarl is that good of a deck. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Grim is that good of a deck. Still not a huge fan of Grimmsnarl. It's still just kind of a fine deck. Same thing. Same way I feel about Raging Bolt. Like these placements from these decks does not like change my opinion too strong about them. It is cool to see him get the finishes though. Like I'm down for them to do well. But it's not swayed my opinion of these decks too much. You don't play Pick and Basic because you're confident. I don't play Pick and Basic because no one in my town is willing to sell theirs. We're not the same. That is, I don't actually know, but I would be curious how many Golden Goes. We see here, this is the only Golden Go cut from Justin. Didn't play the Lopunny. Also didn't play the Picnic Basket. I don't know how many people cut the Picnic Basket, though, which would be one of the reasons to see a little bit more success from Grimmsnarl. Because that is the matchup where Picnic Basket is best, is the Grimmsnarl matchup. It can be good against Guardy, can be good against Dragapult, but it's really good against Grimmsnarl. No Lopunny here. Went with the Mega Mawile, and I talked about this on the podcast as well. I feel like this was like a pretty smart meta call here from Justin to not play the Mega Lopunny, because if everyone expects, and we kind of see this reflected in terms of the tech choices for Golden Go. If everyone expects Golden Go to play Mega Lopunny, playing stuff like Crustle and Cornerstone doesn't make any sense because you lose anyways. So that means you need to play stuff like Toedscruel and Moltres. If you play stuff like Toedscruel and Moltres, then the better inclusion in Golden Go becomes Mega Mawile, because if you can play more cards. Because if you play the Lopunny, it's a 2-card, the Baneri and the Lopunny. Then you like have to play the TM Evo if you want to get value out of it consistently. And then you also like need to play an Ultra Ball maybe as well. But then that's like a smart call to be like, well, and we actually see that reflected in like the tech cards that people chose, right? Like we saw, I mean, this doesn't really matter for Dragapult, but like Jones played the Moltres. We saw Liam Halpert and Zoroark with the Toedscruel. We saw like some Absols and Tank Kangaskhan's with them, like Tank Kangaskhan with the Moltres. Daichi played Toedscruel, like no Cornerstones, no Crustals. It's like, okay, well, if no one's going to play Cornerstone and Crustle, then why would we play Lopunny? Let's play the better inclusion, which is the Mega Mawile. So I think it's like a pretty smart adaptation here from Justin to switch to the Mega Mawile. And they have more room for like the mirror techs, like the Premium Power Pro. Bravery Charm is also good in the mirror. The Bravery Charm is actually just kind of cool as like, I assume this is like also like a pseudo replacement for the Picnic Basket, because you can put it on your Gimme Gold to play around TM Devo, or a Golden Go to play around TM Devo against to play around like Grimmsnarl's play. You can put it on, you can put it on your Fez against Charizard and keep Fez in play. And then in mirror match, you can put it on your Solrock and punch their Solrock with your Solrock, and now your Solrock gets 3-hit KO'd instead of 2-hit KO'd. So you can gain the prize trade advantage in the mirror match that way as well. The Bravery Charm prevents Devo, kinda. Yeah, you can help against Devo as well. Oh yeah, it also helps against Devo against Guardy, right? Like against Jelly Guardy. It's better than Picnic Basket because they unlock you the whole game. So against Jelly Guardy, it's good against them as well. So yeah, the Bravery Charm is kind of cool. Kind of useful against Cornerstone too, so you can force them to bench Monkey Dory. That is also true. Well, the Monkey Dory doesn't happen because you don't have damage on their side of the field, but it is actually good against that for that exact same reason as well. Well, actually, does that work? Because you can't retreat your... It does mean they have to 3-hit KO your Mega Mawile, but it depends on what... Because you can't go like Air Balloon plus Picnic Basket, because if you have to attach a Bravery Charm. What if you have like a second energy on your Mega Mawile and then they boss punch it? Then you can go Bravery Charm, attach, knockout. So it depends where in the... It depends when they boss it. If they boss it on the first attachment, then the Bravery Charm is worse than the Picnic Basket. But if they boss it on the second attachment, then the Bravery Charm's as good as the Picnic Basket up against a Cornerstone. So, yeah. Another cool inclusion. Also, the Secret Box builds. Not the Prime Catcher build. Once again, we see the Secret Box build. Ooh, is that true? Well, no, I think that's Stuttgart, actually. That Prime Catcher build was the more successful build. Not overall, I guess. Because like at Stuttgart, the highest placing Golden Go did have Prime Catcher, but the other 2 Golden Go's did have Secret Box. So maybe it's like, we'll call that one a tie. But Secret Box getting the edge here in this tournament. With this build. Yeah, really, really cool build, I feel like. Really good read on the metagame here with this build from Justin. Overall. Watch Hour jumped from 3 uses at Stuttgart to 72 at Toronto. What the fuck happened? Charizard became a deck between one tournament and the other. All right, so that was all the decks in Top Cut. And now we can take a look at the... I'm going to take a look at all the other lists. We're going to look down to top 32, because it probably gets a little repetitive after that. Yeah, we're going to take a look at all the way down to top 32. And then if anyone in chat has any lists they want me to go look at, we'll take a look at those. Emma playing her Flareon deck, of course. Didn't actually end up playing the Dusknoir. I know that she was playing like Dusknoir for a while in the deck. Didn't actually end up committing to it for this tournament overall, though. And I think pretty similar list to what we had seen her playing. I guess there's some like, more Hildas in here, more Jet Energy. Heavy on the Jets, heavy on the Hildas. Only 1 Crispin. Let me know what you think of 3rd jamming in my Paul at 33. That sounds like a wasted deck spot, I'm not gonna lie. 3 jamming seems way overkill. No Dawn brought Leafeon back. There's a Leafeon in there. A Flareon with 4 Jet. Bro, don't tell me. Don't talk about that. Played a third EV as well in here. Cut Terra Orb for second EV. Yeah, third EV in here. Or second Terra EV. Yeah. More EVs. You look at Jesse Parker's. Yeah, we'll take a look at Jesse Parker's list for sure. A couple Guardies here, but like none of them are crazy. I think they're all similar to the Henry Chow build. Oh no, this build is actually kind of crazy. These two are like the Henry Chow style build, but then the one here from Alex Mullen. Oh, maybe no, it's pretty similar as well. It just has a Badoo. That's right. It's the only real standout difference is there's a Badoo in here, which I can't remember the last time I saw a Badoo in a Guardy deck, to be honest. I cannot remember the last time I saw a Badoo in a Guardy deck. What is that even good against? Basic item lock early and then you have Frillish to item lock later. She told me she was trying to build to prevent Dango's first KO. That makes sense. So should I be worried about Pikachu? Will it be the next meta? I don't know. I play the current standard format and that's it. I think can play the current standard format. Yeah, when was the last time we saw the Badoos as like a standard in the Guardy? Had some Charizards here. See if there's anything crazy in any of these lists. This was a water build with the Psyduck and the Monkey Dory. The Monkey Dory is a little weird in here. That's like a lot going on in here. You got the Water Energy for the Water Pond. You got the Crispin. Defiance Band. Okay. Psyduck to prep against the opponent's Dusknors. Not playing your own Dusknors. You got the Chi-Yu in here to give yourself a little bit better time against Golden Go. I feel like you're playing the Monkey Dory. I feel like if you're playing the Monkey Dory, you should be playing the Pidgeotto, actually. Like, if we're... Like, the Monkey Dory feels like its best matchup is, like, Polt, right? Maybe it's, like, okay against Grimmsnarl, but you're probably getting cooked by Grimm with a deck like this anyways, right? Like, if we're gonna play the Monkey Dory, I feel like we should be playing a Pidgeotto. It feels, like, counterintuitive to play the Monkey Dory but not play a Pidgeotto. I don't know. That feels a little off. Yeah. That was that one. Anthony here. This is a pretty standard build. Play Black Belt's Training. I have no idea where that comes up or what's the point of playing that, but it is in there. Maybe saying the Monkey's enough to win the Pult matchup. It's not. There's no way you're getting cooked. You need more than that. If you don't got a Bird online, you're cooked. We did have the Zoroark deck here from Liam Halliburton. The 2-2 Toadstool, 1 Lopunny. This is different than like the list I had been seeing going into the tournament. I've been seeing like the Last Driver goes to KO Dango. Well, that's probably pretty good for the early game, for some early game situations. You appreciate the 5 months there, Legend Killer. Also appreciate the 76 months there, Horchie. And the 9 months there, Saint. As well as the 36 months there, Bali. Sanjay claimed that Erica cooked Dango, but we all think he's capping. I guess maybe... Well, we have to like find the Erica before the game ends. But Erica plus Yveltal, maybe? I guess I don't hate that as a win condition. I don't think you're beating any Prime Catcher builds of the deck. You're not beating Prime Catcher Dango, but you could... But see, the Prime Catcher is like the more popular build. You could maybe beat... Yeah, you're definitely not beating Prime Catcher Dango. I guess it's maybe enough to beat Secret Box Dango. But the Prime Catcher with the extra switch out is definitely too much. Beat. But yeah, super heavy Toadstool build here from Liam. The only thing that like stands out to me that like seems like it could be iffy up against Gardevoir is the one ends PP up. Like it feels like it'd be possible for Gardevoir to like overwhelm you and like lock you out of Zoroarks. But I guess being maybe able to attack with the Lopunny with 1 energy, plus he ends PP up, plus E-Switch. Like if you just establish an energy somewhere and then get access to it later through the E-Switch, that might be enough to like get enough Zoroarks online to get through or to be able to chase Gardevoirs and stuff like that. Has the Watchtowers, of course. Still Secret Box build. 3 TM Evolution, but it is like a Lily's Determination TM Evo build. And you want heavy TM Evos as well, just so you can like recycle... so you can recycle your your Toad Scrolls against Golden Go, obviously. You need to be able to aggressively recycle your Toad Scrolls, keep them in play, especially if you like prize a piece or two or something like that. So I did actually play some games with this deck leading up to the tournament. And the Golden Go matchup did feel pretty good. The Golden Go matchup did feel pretty good with this deck, for sure. Appreciate 85 months there, Tyrant. I played Liam's Azul, and I really liked having the second NSPP, I'm not going to lie. It feels like for the Guardy matchup, that would be where it's best to have. I could see one NSPP up plus E-Switch being enough to pull it out against Gardevoir, but... Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as ways to play Zoroark, this is probably just the way to go with, unless you, like, predict people to cut Lopunny, and they can go back to, like, a... Well, no, that probably never works, does it? I'd say, like, an Ogre Pond build, but that just feels like it's bad right now. Highest placing, yeah, Sanjay. We took a look at this a little bit earlier. We can take a look at it again. Yeah, someone in chat said, what did someone in chat say? You appreciate 2 months there, Travis. Is there going to be a major in Indianapolis? There is, yes. Sanjay said that Erica was cooking the Golden Goes, which, like I said, non-prime builds, I could see it being enough. Liam said Turbo Guardy was pretty unfavored. Okay, that's, yeah, like looking at it, I would be like, yeah, Turbo Guardy seems like it could be tough for sure. Invitation plus Clutch, yeah, I'm not buying the Invitation plus Clutch being enough to beat Golden Go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not buying it. Genesect can shut down Prime. Oh, true, there is the Genesect in here. There is the Genesect. So you shut down the Prime, and then you go into full Yveltal. Okay, I'm becoming a little bit more of a believer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm becoming a little bit more of a believer. You have a lot of Dark Energy. Chain the Yveltals, despite only having the 2 Night Stretchers. Okay, I'm coming around a little bit on the possibility. I think if your opponent knows your win condition, you probably always lose, though. But if they don't know your win condition, which they won't fully know your win condition, you can definitely get away with some dubs against Golden Go, for sure. We did check. This is where we checked Sanjay's matches and realized there was 0 Golden Goes played against, right? Yeah, okay. And a lot of Golden Go players won't know your win condition. So you do have that going for you. So I can see it. Yeah, you got the Genesect, you shut down the Prime Catcher. And then as long as they go wide with rocks and Genesect or Fez hits the bench, you know, start bringing them up, trapping them in the active. Sure, I could see it. Well, I guess, but Genesect and Fez can attack. All right, I'm not sold still. Maybe. Samuel here. We did take a look at this one, but we'll take a look at it again. Tank Kangaskhan maybe solved the Golden Go matchup here with the double Moltres plus Brave Bangle. I would want to hope so, because I'm a huge fan of Tank Kangaskhan. This seems like it might be the best way to handle Golden Go until they like drop the Lopunny, which who knows, maybe we're not that far from Lopunny not being the inclusion in Golden Go, and then you have a wide array of options for Tank Kangaskhan to combat against Golden Go. But as long as they're playing the Lopunny, Moltres might be the only route to go, to be honest. Moltres plus the Brave Bangle might be your only option if you want to play Tank Kangaskhan. Also has the Ursaluna in here, which I think actually makes sense. I generally don't like Ursaluna in this deck, but I think if like you want to be able to go Moltres into Ursaluna to win games, so you can like use Ursaluna late game to like KO Fez or something like that. So Moltres early game, use that to get through the Golden Goes, maybe a Genesect, and then you go into like Ursaluna to maybe close out on a Fez or something like that. Not just in the Golden Go matchup, but it feels like it might be essential for the Golden Go matchup. I'm actually curious to see how Samuel did up against Golden Goes. Got a dub, a tie, a dub. Beat Joltik Golden Go. That's pretty good. No L's to Golden Go. It worked out pretty well for Samuel. Another Guardy here from Neo. It's Guardy. Some more Charizards here. James with the Charizard. It's Charizard. Hunter with a Charizard here. It's Charizard. There's a Jamming Tower in this list, actually. Jamming Tower is an interesting inclusion. We usually don't see a secondary stadium in the Charizard builds. Some more Guardies here. Makani played a Guardy list. Jelly Guardy here from Calvin Connor. 3-1-2 Guardy line, 3 Rare Candy. Did play the TM Devo as well. That's a Guardy deck right there. Riley McKay, of course, played Gardevoir. And that's a Guardy deck right there. Daichi here did play the Mega Absol box, which has just kind of been his deck for a while, I feel like now. Did choose the Toad Scroll. That was his choice of answers for the Golden Go matchup. Went with the Toad Scroll. Appreciate 65 months there, Slap. And yeah, I have no idea how the Toad Scroll goes up against that matchup, to be honest. Did play the Jumbo Ice Cream. I'm personally a big fan of the Jumbo Ice Cream in this deck. Only 3 boss, but did play with the double Counter Catcher, which it seems like there's always like 5 Gust in this deck. The question is it 4 boss? 1 counter catcher, or do you go up to 6? You can play 2 counter catcher plus 4 boss, which you also sometimes see. Did he beat any Golden Go? Good question. Also, the Watchtower in here for the Charizard matchups. I would have to imagine that's the main reason to include the Watchtower late game Charizard comeback. Let's see. Golden Ghost did beat 1 Golden Go. Did beat 2 Golden Go. Okay. Was able to take down 2 of them with the Toedscruel inclusion, which does seem like it could be decent. It could seem like it could maybe be enough. I could see it. I could see it. I actually am curious. That does make me curious now. Actually, I kind of want to do... Maybe we'll do a tier list today as well. I don't know. There's a lot of things to do today, to be honest. All right, that was Daichi's build. Another thing cool about this tournament is just the level of international competition at this tournament in general. Was it 6 different countries represented in Top Cut alone? And then, like, right outside of that, you had Emma as well. So, and then there was no Japanese players in Cut, but we had Daichi and Yoshiyuki here not too far away. In top 32. So yeah, the level of international competition also just really, really cool to see. Bro, how are we finding the Watchtower? We need a Cypher. Against Charizard, I think you have time. Against Charizard, you have time to cycle your deck to find it. You don't need it like it's not like an aggressive. It's like a late game Iono combo. Yoshiki here with a Paltnor. Yep, that's definitely double candy. There's 2 candies in here. Oh, actually, one of the lists up here did play candy as well, right? Anthony did play 2 candy in the Paltnor list. Consistently, we see the non-candy builds be more successful overall. But there's way less people playing candy, obviously. It's not a bad card in the deck, but definitely not 100% conclusive on whether it's correct or incorrect to play red candies, I would say. Because way less people play candies, but we still see them getting up there, having some success. So just because there's more listed like in Cut without candy, it's hard to say for sure, based on just results, that not candy is better. What deck did I end up going with? Charizard. Yeah, we'll take a look at my list here in a second, and I'll talk about it. Another Guardy here. That's Guardy. And that's the top 32. Okay, is there any... We'll take a look at... This is one of the decks I'm going to play with today as well. Jesse Parker with the Miraidon. Lost the win in. Said he threw. We could have seen Miraidon in Top Cut. That would have been pretty sick. And honestly, this list here from Jesse is pretty... This is, pretty standard as far as, the way people have been playing Miraidon, right? This isn't anything crazy. I feel like this is, pretty standard Miraidon... Now, no one, plays Miraidon, but the last time I looked at Miraidon list or played with Miraidon, it was this, Carmine, go first, bench Magnemite, turn 2 Magneton, pop Magneton, attack with Iron Hands, then you attack with, in this build specifically from Jesse, not double Zekrom, but Zekrom into Ursaluna. I guess you could double Zekrom, though, because you have, Nitrate and Super Rod. But this is definitely one of the decks I'm going to be playing with today is Jesse Parker's Miraidon list. So close to the cut. He almost got there. Check 57th. Okay, we'll check 57th. So that was Jesse's deck. We take a look at Carter's Zork if there's anything different. Nope. All right. 57th. This one? Bruh. There is so much. Corey here with the Charizard, Pidgeot, Toedscruel, Lopunny, Chi-Yu, Golduck, Dawn Zard here. Unfair Stamp as well as the A-Spec of choice. I honestly don't... For Jet Energy as well. So this almost feels like... it feels like this is heavily inspired by the Tord deck that Tord used at Stuttgart, where Tord was playing Charizard X, thicker Lopunny line, heavy on the Dawns, but instead of including just more attackers in this build, cut back on the attackers, get rid of the Charizard X, get rid of go down to 1/1 Lopunny, and then let's get some tech cards involved. Let's go with the Double Duck. Let's go with the 2/1 Toedscruel. So this is the ultimate protect my Charizard type deck. The only thing that's missing here is Monkey Dory, I feel like. Yeah, pretty cool take on a Zard build here, honestly, from Corey. I don't understand 2/1 Cruel and 3/1 2 Bird. Well, the 2/1 Toedscruel, so you can chain the Toedscruel, so you can bench double Toedscruel. If they KO one, you evolve the other one to Toedscruel, and then you try and rebench Toedscruel. If they KO your Toedscruel, you evolve your Toedscruel into Toedscruel. So that's That's why you play a 2-1. The 3-1-2 bird, I can kind of get behind well, the reason you play the 3-1-2 bird is because you call for family a lot. So because you're going to call for family a lot, you need to have a second bird on your bench so you can get to your Pidgeot. So the 3-1-2 bird also kind of makes sense, to be honest. The only thing about this deck, though, is it's pretty susceptible to item lock, it feels like. 4 candy, only 1 of each stage 1. I guess you have the Lopunny to maybe use in the early game as well. Like a second Charmeleon would feel kind of nice in here. I feel like give yourself a better chance against Polts. Maybe we're giving up on the Polt matchup a little bit, though, with this deck. I don't know. We got the Golduck. We got Duck. We got a Miss. We should be fine against Polt. Got a Turo for a little reset action. We'll do. What were you guys saying? 72nd? Oh my goodness. Well, isn't this just literally like Worlds? This is literally just like Worlds Golden Go, but updated for this format. The Revavroom, 3 Superior Energy Retrieval, the Fan Rotom. Wouldn't Team Evo be good in that deck? No, because you have no way to find it. You're trying to play through Dawn as much as possible. Dawn is fairly strong to item lock. That is true. Dawn is very good. Dawn is very good to item lock. Dawn is good to item lock, but what's it called? You only have 2 stage 1s to work with as well. Amazing how little Revavroom saw play, considering how strong of a card it is in the vacuum. True. Does it still have time, or does it rotate? Oh, it rotates. That's it. It's over for Revavroom. All right, any other lists that I should check out before I go take a look at my list? 131st. Garchomp. Garchomp with a Skrull. Force Vitality. 141. 68th. 141. All right, I'll check 141. Towards list? No, I'm not checking towards list. There's nothing to check in towards list. Old School Chomp. All right, we'll check 141. You guys have mentioned that one a lot. All right, 141 here. Slow King. What does this guy do? Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 1 AG to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. What are we catching with that? What are we KOing with that? Squawkabilly? What are we actually like? What is like? Why do we need to hit this hard? Why can't we discard a Fez? Mew dead? Oh, we can snipe Mew? Okay, sure. That is valid. That is valid. Oh, there's Kang. Ooh, yo, wait. I kind of like this list though. It's like a way more aggressive build. So we're not trying to take advantage of. We're not trying to take advantage of being a single prizer as much. We're like, all right, we're putting 2 prizes in play. I'm putting a lot of multi-prize Pokemon in play, but we're gonna take advantage of that draw power to use Slow King more aggressively for ciphers. Ooh, I kind of like this list actually. The only thing I don't like about this list is the Carmines. Fuck Carmine. But besides that, this is a pretty cool list for sure. We might play with this today. It's a cool build. It's a cool build for sure. Definitely a cool build. All right, any other list? Final call for lists. Final call. Someone said 68th. Dude, this is... What? 4 Watchtower? Bro, Thomas hates Charizard, bro. I was like, bro, this is Golden Go. 4? 4? That's just not even good, right? What? We're giving up on like every other matchup? 4 Watchtowers, insane. That is absurd. Check matchups. Oh, good call. If you lose to oh, you can't lose to Charizard with this. You can't do that. Lost to Charizard? No. How? You can't. You have 4 and 2 ciphers. There's no excuse. You have Watchtower. Lost to Kang too? No, you also lost to Kang? Wait, but hang on, what were the techs in this build? Oh, this was Samuel with the Moltres? I'm not sure about this one. This one maybe is allowed. This L might be okay. You can't be out here losing to Charizard with 4 Watchtower in your deck, though. You can't do that. That's That's wild. 4 Watchtower is insane. And 2 Cypher. Like, we are finding the Watchtower. We will have the Watchtower. Trust. The Watchtower will be found. You think Blowtorch could be good if you have a Moltres package in Tank Kang? Could be, yeah. It's a good card. 100th? Didn't I already check the 100th play? Oh, that's mine. We'll look at my list last. That's where we'll talk about 103. Isn't this just... Ooh, okay. Grimsharl, 1-1. This literally has all the tech cards. We got Iron Bundle, Yveltal, Shaman, Duck, 2-2 Frostlass, 1-1 Toadscroll. This is the Everything Grim deck. The Everything Grim deck. Is it missing anything? We're not missing anything. We have it all. 133rd. Oh, the Diplin. All right. Well, how many Diplins made day 2? $133 is fire. Oh yeah, I'm looking at 133rd. The Diplin, Rapska, Arvin build. 204 players, I think. Only 4 players played in the tournament. 1/16th is Baby Ding Lu action. Oh yeah, I saw this. Okay, my problem 3 TM Devo. All right, my problem with this deck is how are we setting up Monkey Dories and Ting Lu? Like when I look at this list, I'm like, ooh, I kind of like the idea of it. But like, how are we ever setting up Monkey Dories and Ting Lu's? Like we're just not, right? So you set up 1 Monkey Dory, maybe 2, and then you get into the Ting Lu, and then you're spreading with Ting Lu. I guess you have 4 courses tenacity, so you're like not whiffing your energy attachments, right? Probably. There's no Arvin in here, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because you have to play the courses tenacity to find your stadiums. Interesting build. Interesting build for sure. Interesting build on the deck for sure. 378th? Oh my gosh. Oh, just another Diplin though, right? Dipping again. 1-1 Lopunny. 94, 70th, 52nd. All right, 52nd. What do we got at 50 number 52? Oh yeah, this. I actually like this take on the deck from Julian, because I'd seen people putting Moltres in the deck, but Julian went like double Brave Bangle, Moltres, double Brave Bangle, triple Night Stretcher, double Basic Fire. I talked about this on the podcast as well. Dude, we are not finding this Prism Energy. Cut the Prism Energy. Make it another dark. We're never drawing this thing. But I like this. I mean, this has like a way to beat Golden Go. I do like it. I do like this this take for sure. Yeah. Another Moltres has the answer to the Golden Go. The Absol Box with Sandy Shocks. Oh, we didn't take a look at that. We should take a look at that list real fast. It was the one under this one, right? Yeah. From Cifuentes. Played the Sandy Shocks in here, which is like an interesting way to like deal with the Lopunny. So like you can have Cornerstone in the active with a Bravery Charm. The Lopunny comes up, punches it for 230, and then you can go like Sandy Shocks, maybe 2 prize cards have been drawn, Attach, Retreat, E-Switch, maybe 1 prize has been drawn, Counter Gain gets involved, and then you go Sandy Shocks, knock out the Lopunny, draw 3. And then it's also just like Energy Acceleration in the mid-late game in any matchup. So it's a really cool take, actually, from Marco. Really creative take as a solution for the Golden Go matchup. With the way people were playing it, for sure. And then I opted for a Sudowoodo over just like the double Yveltal, because you have triple basic fighting in here to help out with your Sandy Shocks plays. So may as well get the Sudowoodo involved as your second retreat lock Pokemon as well. I like that. I like that inclusion for sure. 67. Already. Oh, that's cool. It's sick. A Guardy deck. 70th Birdless. I mean, it's just gonna be bird. I don't really have a take on bird control. Like that is bird control. Yeah, that is a bird control. I don't play the deck at all, so I have no take. 96th. Grant Manley? No. 94. Wait, did I already take a look at 94? No, another Zork build. It's the same thing though, basically, right? Very similar to what the Liam Halbert was running. Yeah, double Toad Scroll, 1/1 Lopunny. I already saw the 4 Watchtower build. Yeah, we took a look at the 4 Watchtower build. 101. It's Boltnor. All right. Now we'll take a look at the list that I played. I'll talk about the list I played, and then we'll go through my matchups. So I ended up just playing Charizard. I did say on the podcast, going into the tournament, I didn't really know what I wanted to play at all, basically, to be honest. Well, I was probably going to play... going into the tournament, I was like, I'm probably going to play Golden Go or Zork. I think I said as much on the podcast. I did put Zard Pidgeot as a tier 2 deck, if I remember correctly, on my tier list. And then, like, leading up to the tournament, I flew out to Caleb's house early to the tournament. So we were grinding some games of Pokemon. I wasn't, like, taking it overly seriously. Like, I was trying in the games, obviously. But, like, I wasn't, like, super locked in. The format, honestly, and I get what people are saying. I've said this a couple times now. Like, I enjoy the format. I enjoy streaming and playing the Pokemon TCG. I like playing PTCG Live, playing weird decks, wacky decks, whatever. But as Toronto started to get closer, and I started to try and think about like a deck to play, I was like, dude, competitively, I understand what I've seen some people say on Twitter where it's like, this format competitively just kind of sucks. And now like leading up to Toronto and actually playing Toronto, I kind of agree. Like this format's pretty fun because bad decks don't feel terrible and they're just like fun to play. But, like, the competitive metagame is kind of miserable. Like, leading up to the tournament, I was like, what do you play, Golden Go or Guardy? Like, you don't have a choice. If you want to win the tournament, you're like, you don't really have a choice of decks to play, like a depth of choice to play, right? We do see stuff succeeding, like the Grimmsnarls and the Raging Balls, of course. But, like, I was never going to roll up with a Grimmsnarl or a Raging Ball. I have zero confidence in those decks on that level, so... like, the night before the tournament, Grant was like, I'm going to play Charizard. So, I was like, I'll play Charizard. That's fine. So, I took a look at Grant's list. I took a look at I had some of my own thoughts on Charizard, and then I also took a look at Gabriel Fernandez's list from LAIC. So I was like looking at, I had my own thoughts, Grant's list, Gabriel's list, and I was like, I want to play Unfair Stamp because Unfair Stamp's cool. Although I think Maximum Belt was like pretty high value at this tournament overall because it's good into Pult and it's good into Mirror Match. Unfair Stamp though is the better card, I think, into Golden Go over Maximum Belt. And I was like, I kind of just want to beat Golden Go more than I want to beat Mirror or other Charizard decks or Dragapult. So I played the Unfair Stamp. And then for the rest of the list, I mean, there's nothing special here, right? There's 3/2/2 Charizard, 2/1/2 Pidgeot. I almost played 2 Pidgeotto, ended up with 1, and that was fine. That's the correct call. Played the Duck, played the Shaman. Shaman was pretty useless the whole tournament, to be honest. But I think I would still, if I played the tournament again, I would still play the Shaman because it's good against Guardy. But played the Chi-Yu, of course. Tatsugiri Fez. Ended up with a 1/1 Monkey Dory inclusion, the 1 basic Dark Energy, 1 Monkey Dory. I prized my Dark Energy over half of the games against the decks that it was good. Like, I had the Monkey Dory in the deck the whole time, but I just like prized the Dark Energy so often. So that was kind of unfortunate, but it's whatever. For the supporter lineup, 4 Lily, 3 Arven. Grant went with like 4 Arven. I like Lily more than the Arvens in the deck. I mean, you need to play some Arvens, obviously, to find your team Evos. But yeah, 4 Lily, 3 Arven, 3 Boss, 1 Counter Catcher. I wish there was room for second Counter Catcher, but there kind of isn't. And you have to kind of pick what you want to play. If you didn't play the Briar, you could play second Counter Catcher maybe. Went with 2 Iono and the Unfair Stamp. And honestly, I'm glad I did this just because I wanted a higher count of supporters. Like, I'm glad I did it simply because the higher count of supporters just felt really good. That was like it. So I was like, I'm not convinced that you need 2 Iono in the deck, but you can't play 5 Lily. So if I could play 5 Lily, I would probably do that over the second Iono because like 1 Iono, 1 Unfair Stamp is probably enough. But the amount of games where I was like barely chaining together my supporters was like pretty high. And I went through double Iono in a lot of my matches as well. Simply because it's the only supporter I had in the opening hand or off the Tatsugiri, or like the only supporter I drew into as like a follow-up supporter. So the double Iono kind of like worked out as far as that goes. I would probably play 5 Lily if I could, but you can't do that. So yeah. Thoughts on Tool Scrapper in this deck as an optional meta tech? We just like the Tool Scrapper meme. I think it's a Tool Scrapper meme. Did you use Briar once? I did. The Briar was actually pretty good. The Briar was actually pretty good. It's just, and I'm so glad I did it. I almost didn't play the Briar, but then I was like, you know what? Every time I play with Charizard, I'm always like, man, the Briar's just good. And like whenever I look at anyone's Charizard lists and they're not playing Briar, I'm like, why would you not play such a powerful card like Briar? And I was like, I almost didn't play it. Almost didn't play the Briar, but I was like, if that's how I've always felt in the past, and I always judge everyone else for not playing Briar in their Charizard, it's like I have to play the Briar in my Charizard. Right? I can't judge everyone else for not including it in like Normizard, not playing Briar and Normizard, and then not play it myself. So I'm gonna play it, and it was pretty good. So I'm glad I played the Briar. Turo was good. You have to play Turo kind of. 4 Puffin, 4 Ultra Ball, nothing crazy there. 2 Artisan. Only 3 Candy, but like 3 Candy is like more than enough to be honest. Double Rod. Only 1 Counter Catcher. I talked about the Unfair Stamp. I played the Energy Search. Me and Grant talked about the Energy Search a lot the night before the tournament. And I'm glad I played it because it's one of the cards that he said he wished he played in the deck. And I actually used the Energy Search a lot throughout the tournament run. It's really nice to have the flexibility to find your Dark or Fire energy in the mid game. It's nice to be able to turn Arven into an energy. Now, Grant did play a Night Stretcher, but double Super Rod is like way more than enough recovery. Like you just don't need more recovery than double Super Rod. So I wanted like and I used Energy Search turn 1. Arven had the Puffin in hand or Artisan plus enough basics. Arven, Energy Search plus TM Evo my board set up. Good to go. So yeah, Energy Search was good. 5 I wish, dude, a 6th Fire would be so good. I wish I could find room for a 6th Fire. I was trying so hard the night before the tournament to put a 6th Fire energy in this deck. The amount of game, like every single game was like, man, if I had a 6th Fire in my deck, there's no way I lose. But instead, every game turned into, okay, can I find Super Rod at the right time to play that, to get my Fire energy back, to be able to actually set up another Charizard, or to use my Chi-Yu, or I prize 2 Fire, or 1 Fire, or like, Shaman out, Fire in. I don't know, the Shaman's like a pretty big deal against Guardy, though. Guardy can kind of like overrun you pretty quickly if you don't play Shaman, so Guardy can do like weird stuff where they like overdamage your active Charizard and they Screamtail snipe your bench Charmeleon and then KO your Charizard on the next turn, or they KO your Pidgeotto. Like the Shaman's like probably just too important for the Guardy matchup. But yeah, probably too important for the Guardy matchup, but yeah. I've seen Lumis instead of Dark before, but I don't know if I like that. No, it's not good. The energy needs to be able to be, it's simply having another Fire energy in your deck is not good enough. You need to be able to Infernal Rain for the card. Like, it's not about having an energy. Like, Luminous over Dark is not good. The basic Dark is definitely better than the Luminous. You could play basic Dark and then a Luminous after that, but the basic Dark itself is too powerful to be able to utilize Monkey Dory, be able to potentially set up a second Monkey Dory, or if the Dark energy is all you draw into in the early game, but it's a Luminous, then you draw into the Luminous and you can't set up Monkey Dory late game. So it needs to be a card that you can Infernal Rain out of the deck. That's the power of Charizard, is its ability. So if the Dark energy is a Luminous energy, that doesn't solve the problem, really. Plus you can search it with E-Search. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 6th Fire would be incredible. Ultra Ball for Fire? Nah, I don't know. Ultra Ball's pretty good. I don't think I'd cut an Ultra Ball. I would consider trying it. I know Gabriel only played 3 Ultra Ball at LAIC, but yeah, I'd maybe consider cutting Ultra Ball for a Fire to try that. But minus Monkey, minus Dark, plus Fire, plus Basket, Trust. I could see something like that maybe being okay as well, to be honest. A 6th Fire would just make things so much smoother. It would make things so much smoother if you just had a 6th Fire in the deck. Was Tatsu on Fraud Watch? Some matches, yes. Some matches, no. Katatsu? No, you kind of need to play the Tatsu for your early game. Played 1 Mist. I did get value out of the Mist. Playing 1 Mist is probably just correct. There's too many like little things that can come up through games. TM Devos, Dragapult Spread. 1 Jet was also good. That was another thing that I was talking to Grant about before the tournament. He played Air Balloon. I played the Jet. And the Jet was pretty good. Like, it's nice to just like have an extra out to clutch. I don't want to lose a clutch or corner. So I think I don't think I'd play the Air Balloon still. I think I would still rock with the Jet. Also, the 6th Fire further enables Tatsugiri, because then you'll have excess energy in your deck sometimes. So when you Infernal Rain, you can accelerate an energy to the Tatsugiri. So there's good synergy between more Fire in your deck and Tatsugiri. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find the room for the 6th Fire, but I would say if anyone is taking this Charizard 60 and then modifying from there, try and find room for a 6th Fire. I just don't know what I'd cut. Maybe the second Iono, but drawing supporters is just kind of good. So yeah, pretty normie Zard build for me. I didn't really think about it very hard. Just worked on it the night before the tournament and ended up running it at Toronto. Let me take a look at my matches as well and go over all those. So I did tie a lot. I did end up 8-2-4 for top 128 finish here. Man, I played against a lot of Canadians. What the heck? I didn't even realize who I was playing against when I was playing against them. But round 1 against Golden Go, I actually lost game 1. It was actually Golden Go plus... Well, I can just click on their list, right? Yeah, it was Golden Go plus Alakazam. Oh, so I can actually see my opponent's list now. We can see what was going on. It was Golden Go Alakazam. I lost game 1. But then game 2 and game 3 were pretty straightforward. And the Unfair Stamp specifically is probably pretty powerful in this matchup. Game 2, Golden Go. And also the Unfair Stamp was just like really good against all the Golden Goes, to be honest. So I'm glad I played it. Round 2, played up against pretty standard Golden Go. And I honestly don't remember how this matchup went at all, to be honest. But Unfair Stamp was pretty good. Actually, no, I don't think Unfair Stamp... Actually, against for my first couple Golden Go players, the Unfair Stamp wasn't very good. But I just kind of won the trade anyways. Hey, Yurko in round 3. And against Yurko here, if I had just scooped faster and played faster, I'm pretty sure I would have won. I actually don't know if Yurko had a win condition in game 3, or if I just basically had game 3 locked up. But we ended up tying because we didn't have enough time for game 3. If I just scooped faster in game 1 or 2, I don't remember which game I won and he won. But if I had scooped faster and then played faster, there definitely would have been enough time for game 3 to finish. So I could only really blame myself for game 3 not finishing. And I'm pretty sure at that point I had the advantage. I don't think he actually had a win condition. Yeah, I don't think he actually had a win condition because he prized his Water Pawn in game 3, and I don't think I found Shaman aggressively. And then, I think his Prime Catcher was maybe also prized at the end of game 3, so he couldn't take a 2-prize knockout on his second to last turn potentially. But then time was called during his turn anyway, so I had +1 turn. I could only draw 2 prize cards max, and I couldn't win. So, did Shaman work against any Water Pawns? Against Yurko in game 2, I think I got value out of it. The game I won against Yurko, the Shaman, I think, did its job. But yeah, if I just played faster, scooped faster, I think I turned this tie into a win. Then I played against Matt here, playing a Golden Go build. Oh, this one was actually kind of scary. Because Matt was playing the trolley build with the Iron Bundle, so I couldn't actually be aggressive with like early benches, although that's like fine. I think both games against Matt here, I literally opened Monkey Dory. So the game where I went first, I just went Monkey Dory. I could have benched stuff, but I just didn't, and then just passed. So like Matt couldn't get a turn 1 knockout to like prevent that. But Matt played Iono, Counter Catcher. Like Matt had a lot of weird stuff in here. So like it makes it a lot harder to win when you're like not super confident in what they're playing. Once I saw the trolley, I knew there was an Iron Bundle probably. I don't know if the obviously Prime Catcher, but there was still Item Gus in the Counter Catcher. I don't think Matt was ever actually able to play the Iono, so the Iono actually never became like anything I was like super scared of because it never happened where Matt could actually play the Iono on a turn. So, it was a pretty close. I had a pretty close set against Matt there. And then I played against Andrew here with the Poltzard. I definitely made a mistake in this one. Oh, Andrew was actually playing 2 Watchtower. I thought it was 1. Game 1, I should have realized. I should have realized that Watchtower was a pretty high possibility in this deck. And turn 1, I think I put an Artisan in play in the game I lost where I didn't need to. Like the Artisan got me my second Charmander, but it wasn't necessary to set up a second Charmander. I was just like, I believe Andrew already had like a full bench at that point. So I was like, well, giving Andrew access to my Artisan doesn't matter. And if I'm assuming Jamming Tower, then I don't care if Jamming Tower bumps my Artisan later. If I can get like 2 uses out of Artisan over the next 2 turns, I'm like really set up. So like, all right, sure, whatever, I'll go for it. But then mid-late game, Andrew throws a Watchtower in play. I maybe prized my second Artisan, I think, in the first game. So I never even had a possibility to bump it. And then, yeah. So I just should never put the first Artisan in play to begin with. Because I should have like assumed that there was a high possibility of Watchtower. Which I didn't. And then I lost game 1, and I won game 2. And then no time for... This matchup is so miserable. This deck is so miserably slow. Like... yeah, no time for game 3 at all. Like, not even remotely close. So, lost game 1. Could have like made the assumption of Watchtower and played better. Blazing Destruction angle. I think that would have been too slow as well. I would have just lost by Blazing Destruction for sure. But, yeah. After that, played against a Grimmsnarl, Takashi Yoneda. Game one, Takashi basically dead drew. It was like filching, turn after turn of filching. I was sitting there spawn trapping more Grims. And then game two was pretty close, but Takashi was just not playing very fast. Like I was prompting Takashi. I was like, hey, you need to make an action. You need to make an action, right? Like Takashi was playing really slow and we ran out of time and I won 1-0. But I was sitting there, like Takashi was playing too slow in the mid early game, so I was prompting him to make actions, but his own pace of play caught up with him eventually, and he got 1-0'd. So, game two, I actually don't even know who was going to win game two, to be honest. Like, I won game one because he just basically effectively dead drew. Game two, he was taking forever. Telling him to play faster, prompting him to make actions. Still wasn't playing fast enough. And at the end game, it was definitely close. The end game was definitely close there for sure. I ended up just beating him 1-0 with the Grim. I actually beat both the Grims I played against. Played against Xavier Kerr. Xavier's actually in the chat right now. I think Xavier won game one. I won game two. I don't remember. One game two. And then game three came down to came down to the wire. And I just told Xavier, I was like, if you play for the win this turn and I don't win on my next turn, I'll concede to you. And Xavier played it out, tried to win, couldn't win. And then on my turn, I whiffed winning the game. So I conceded to Xavier in game number 3. But we had a good set. It was good back and forth. Yeah, it was a good back and forth with Xavier with the Zard Noctowl. And then hit Hamza Khan in the last round with Golden Go Joltik. This was actually a funny match because Hamza opened Latias. And I was like, I mean, it's probably Pram Judge Shuffle. Yeah, Xavier also had Pram do the Judge Shuffle before I tried to dig for an energy. So I needed to get boss energy so I could boss up a 2-prizer and then retreat into Charizard to take the knockout. And I bossed, used Fez to draw 3 because Xavier pushed Klefki, and then I whiffed the energy off the draw. Hit Hamza on the win and in. Hamza opened Latias, and I was like, oh, it's probably Pult, right? Because that's like the most popular deck that plays Latias. So on turn 1, I had like, in my opening hand, I had 2 options. I had Candy Pidgeot in hand. I had like Monkey Dory in the active, I think, and then like Charmander Pidgey on my bench. I could get down Charmander and Pidgey. And I was like, well, if I'm playing around Pult, though, I have to Ultra Ball away my Pidgeot to get Pidgeotto, to hope my second Pidgeotto's not prized, or my second Pidgeot's not prized. And then I had a TM Evo in hand next turn. So there's like next turn I go Monkey Dory TM Evo to Pidgeot. But it turns out Hamza was playing Joltik Golden Go, which is not what I thought I was playing. So I could have had turn 2 Candy Pidgeot, potentially into turn 2 Candy Charizard. Almost every deck plays Latias. What do you mean? Well, no, that's not true. The most popular deck that plays Latias is Pult by far. Golden Go doesn't play Latias. Guardian doesn't play Latias. Charizard doesn't play Latias. Raging Ball plays Latias, but like that's not a very popular deck. So it turned out it was Joltik Golden Go. So I could have had an insane turn 2, KO the Joltik, set myself up to just go like 1, 2, 3 with Briar. But instead I had to take a turn off, which is still fine because the matchup is still in my favor overall. And then Hamza made a play on after. So Hamza uses Joltik, I use Team Evo setup. And then Hamza chooses to go with Arm Press as the first attack. And then from there, it's easy for me to just go. I had just like, my hand was, I think I played Lily as my second supporter, as my first supporter plus TM Evo. So I just had Boss KO Latias off the bench for the first 2. Then he repushes up hands draws 2. Then I go knockout with back-to-back charges or whatever, close out the game pretty handily in that one. And then we get into game, I think I won 2-0 in this one against Hamza. Game 2, actually came down to the wire at the end of game 2. We had like a lot of back and forth in the mid game. He chooses second, of course, sets up the hands. And then this time he just plays for the amp. He just goes amp for 2. And then I forget if I ignore the hands or if he just gets another 2 with Golden Go. But he's able to pick apart my Pidgeot, I think. I think my Pidgeot dies. And then he actually plays Unfair Stamp, which made things awkward in the end game. Because I didn't see his ace spec in game 1. And then at the end of game 2, he Unfair Stamps me. And then all of a sudden I can't just go like Gust win the game anymore. Because because I don't have enough resources. So I have to like push, I think, Tatsugiri and pass because he puts Pikachu in his active and then sets up for the win on next turn. Oh no, he unfair stamps me, takes out my Pidgeot, I think, and then I unfair stamp him. It's something like that. Then I unfair stamp him, and then he whiffs knockout for game because he was up on the prize exchange. So he whiffs KO, and then I have to go, and he brings up my Fez and traps it. Then I have to Turo my Fez, push Tatsugiri past, and then he whiffs knockout off of my unfair stamp, and then he goes all in to try and win that turn, assuming I have game next turn, which I did, and then he whiffs game, and then I have game and I win the game. But game 2 got interesting for sure. Game 1, he made like a questionable choice with the arm press. I think he did it assuming that I was playing. He did the arm press assuming I was playing unfair stamp, I assume. Would that even make sense? Yeah, because then, well, no. Yeah, he did arm press assuming I wasn't playing maximum belt. Because if I ever play maximum belt, then I KO is active no matter how many prize cards he draws. So he made the play assuming I played unfair stamp, I think. And then hoping I wouldn't have the KO on a 2-prizer that turn. Instead of just KOing the Iron Hands. But he probably should have just arm pressed. Or should have amped there for sure. Yeah, won my winning in, made it to day 2. We played the first round of day 2, played against Cameron, and yeah, this matchup went pretty badly for me, to be honest. I think game 1, he just opens the Frillish, if I remember correctly. Maybe not, but he gets an early Frillish, and then just gets a prize lead, and just wins the game based on the prize lead. And then game 2, he goes for an aggressive Mega Diancie play in the mid game. I whiff Monkey Dory to heal my Charizard out of range of a potential double Monkey Dory going to his turn. He whiffs a double Monkey Dory to effectively one-hit KO my Charizard, but he has Turo on his Diancie, which is just like good enough to just beat me there, to be honest. So yeah, this match wasn't very close. He also played double Brave Charm Drifloon, so like in game 1, he gets ahead on the prize exchange with Frillish, and then just like back-to-back Drifloon KOs me or something. And then game 2 gets the turn in the mid game with the Mega Diancie because I didn't have a boss to KO a Gardevoir off the bench and like stabilize my board, I think. So I wasn't able to chase around the Mega Diancie that turn and set up to still be able to win the game. So then he gets the prize lead off the Turo Mega Diancie play and then is able to just close it out from there. So at that point, I'm out of the tournament. I actually did debate not even showing up for the rest of day 2, to be honest, because this was all during day 1. This was all during day 1. Because they played the first round of phase 2 during day 1, and I was debating just not even showing up for day 2, to be honest. Like I could still like win out and then get like top 32, whatever, but I was just like, when I can't win a tournament anymore, it's like hard for me to be motivated to want to like show up to the tournament or even like play well. Like it's just like I just don't care. I literally don't care, and I really didn't care that much, to be honest. But I was like, whatever. I had to wake up early anyway, so like pack and stuff. So like whatever, I'll go to the tournament and we'll play the next couple rounds. So. Hit Aaron round 1 here with the Guardy Jelly. And this one was funny. Game 1. Game 1, Aaron, I think, gets to turn 1 Frillish and plays 3 Lilies while I'm being item locked. And 4-hit KOs my Tatsugiri, but sets nothing. Like, he just draws nothing. He draws no energy, no Curlia, no Candy Gardevoir. Like, he literally just draws nothing. I don't know what his prize cards were, but he's sitting there Frillishing me, so I'm not doing very much. I'm slowly building out my Pidgeots and my Charizards. And he 4-hit KOs my Tatsugiri with a Frillish. And then I finally get a Charizard set up the next turn. And he just doesn't... he still has, like, nothing on the following turn. And I think a couple more KOs in, after I deal with, like, a Mind Bend, I end up beating him. And then game 2 is a pretty quick game 2, where his only outs are like Mind Bend or something like that. Then I played against another Grimmsnarl here. I actually get to see all the lists and everything. Some pretty big errors though in this one from my opponent, just playing too aggressively, and then also bad supporter takes off of the secret box. I think both times he used Secret Box, he took Boss once, and the next time on game 2, he took Arvin, when he probably should have just grabbed Lily both times. And then he just, like, his hand just fizzles a turn or 2 after that, and I'm able to just sit there and do whatever I want. Use Fez to, like, snipe Frostlasts or whatever, and then just, like, punch what I want, set up my Monkey Dory, set up my follow-up Charizard, stuff like that. So, yeah. So I was able to take this one pretty handily. He did make some pretty big mistakes. Then I hit Joshua with Charizard. I won game 1. Joshua made a mistake. This was a pretty weird game where I wasn't able to really do anything. all I could do was basically set up Charizards and punch Joshua's Charizards over and over again. All I was able to do is set up a Charizard, punch your Charizard. Joshua had a little bit more freedom on his side of the field. Like, I had my Pidgeot set up and everything, but to stay on pace and be able to maintain attackers and stuff and play around like the possibility of Klefki Dusknoir, like my play just every turn became punch your Charizard. So at the end game, after Joshua had drawn 3 prize cards, and I had gone KO 1 Charizard, punch your second Charizard. Joshua thought he had game based on the board state, but he miscalculated his damage, and he goes like Klefki Dusknoir Charizard combo to KO my Monkey Dory, and then go down to 2 prize cards. But I had only drawn 3. So that's my 3rd prize card, and then he goes Charizard punch my Pidgeot for 270. And then at that point, I basically just win the game. All right, 2 plays I could do. One play is just Turo my Pidgeot out of play and I just win. Also, during our set when you won the coin flip, you were thinking for a sec, did you know what I was on? I thought I maybe did, yeah, but I didn't know for sure. So I ended up just going with the safer of the 2 options. Yeah, so he punches it for 270. The 2 plays I had was just like Turo my Pidgeot out of play, and I probably just win if I Turo my Pidgeot. But then I top decked Ultra Ball, so I was able to Super Rod back my Monkey Dory, set up Monkey Dory, move 30 over Briar, and then just draw my last 3 prize cards in this one. And then game 2, we actually did not have enough time. We barely had enough time to finish the set, and I misplayed. I could have made a play where I was debating what to do on what to KO to give myself the highest odds of Joshua not winning the game next turn. And it was debating between KOing Pidgeot or not taking a knockout at all. And I bring up the Pidgeot, but what I should have done was just KO Joshua's. Like, Joshua had 1 Duskull on bench. And the only way Joshua could draw enough prize cards to win the game on the next turn, the only way Joshua could win the game on the next turn would be to like set up a Dusknoir combo. And instead I brought up the Pidgeot with Prime Catcher and like was debating KOing Pidgeot or not taking a knockout at all because time was called on my turn. But if I just brought up the Duskull and knocked it out, then Joshua literally can't win on his turn, and then I just probably then I win 1-0. So I made a big error at the end of this one against Joshua. So that tie should have been a win against Joshua. So like the tie against Yurko, tie against Joshua should have both been wins if I had just played better. Against Andrew, and then against Richard in the next round against the Pulsards. I don't know if there's too much I could have done, to be honest. This matchup is so miserably slow. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. This matchup is just so miserably slow. Like, I don't know. I lost, like, the games are close. I guess I beat Richard in game 1, and then game 2 against Richard, I could have scooped faster against Richard. I don't think it would have mattered because this matchup is just so slow. But game 2, he chooses second. I open Tatsu, or I get Tatsu, push Tatsu to look for Arven because my hand is set up for a TM Evo with Richard plays out his turn. Then on my turn, I go Tatsu again, whiff Arven, play Lily, whiff TM Evo or Arven. Richard plays his turn. Next turn, use Tatsu, whiff Arven, play Lily, whiff TM Evo, whiff Arven. Over to Richard. Richard sets up his board further. I go, use Tatsu, whiff Arven, play Lily, whiff Evo or Arven, and then Richard finally board wipes my Charmanders, and I concede and go to game 3. But up to that point, if I ever find an Evo or an Arven, I'm probably just fine. I don't find an Evo or an Arven, though, and then my squad gets board wiped. Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. So my setup was pretty good in game 2 if I just found a TM Evo, but 4 Tatsus and 3 Lilies deep into my deck, I finally, like on the 3rd Lily, I found an Arven for the next turn. So I was like, okay, next turn. But then my Charmanders get board wiped and I lose anyway. So I was never able to use the team Evo. If I'd found it earlier, then we would have been fine. And then game 3 just didn't have enough time. Yeah, didn't have enough time to, not even remotely enough time to win for game 3 to finish. So that's unfortunate. And then last match here against Harry, Golden Go. I believe I lost game 1. And then game 2, yeah, game 1, Harry had like Soul Rock, Lunatone, Triple Gimme Ghoul. I hit him with the Unfair Stamp, plus Charizard KO active. He responds, KO Charizard, and it's over pretty quick from there. Then game 2, I played you round 4. I didn't know you, if you remember, when I countercatcher your Pidgeot to KO with Golden Go in game 2 and you showed me Briar. I actually had Iona, but I wasn't confident I would hit 2 SER. No, the boss was definitely, or the counter catcher was definitely the best play for sure. Because like my way to find Briar is Pidgeot most of the time, unless I do have it in my hand, of course. Yeah, against Harry here, like, he just rolled me game 1, triple Gimme Ghoul, Soul Rock Lunatone off the rip. Then game 2, he has a pretty good start as well, but the Unfair Stamp actually works this time, I believe, and he whiffs. And then game 3, I had an interesting decision where he chooses second, of course. I believe I open... I think I open Shaman to make it harder for him to KO, obviously, with the Soul Rock KO. And then I have, like, Charmander... I have, like, double Charmander on my bench. He gets Gust KO Charmander, but he only has Soul Rock and Lunatone in play. No Gimme Ghouls. And I have Unfair Stamp in my hand. And I could have either played... I think what I could have done is I could have played more aggressively to find Charizard. But instead, I decided to, like, take a half measure. And I, like, Ultra Ball for Fez... Arven for Unfair Stamp, I think. Play the Unfair Stamp with Shaman in my active with TM Evo. So if I hit Charizard, I knock out Soul Rock and leave him with just a Lunatone after getting Unfair Stamped. So I probably just win. But even if I whiff that, he also he searched out Vitality Band but didn't attach it to the Soul Rock on his turn. So he couldn't KO my Shaman unless he drew into Vitality Band or Premium Power Pro. But even if he KO'd Shaman, after putting him down to 2, I was like, I'm still going to probably be in a pretty good spot. So hit him with the Unfair Stamp, whiff the Charizard, use Fez for 3, whiff the Charizard. Then I just go into TM Evo, set up my Charmeleons and Pidgeotto. And I think he just passes. He doesn't even Soul Rock punch with Soul Rock to do 70 because then it gives me Monkey Dory damage. So it's probably a smart play on his part. And then I go Charizard next turn and just take over the game. So that was the game where the Unfair Stamp actually was most effective against Golden Go. Was game 3 against Harry here. It was also pretty good in game 2. The other games against Golden Go is a little bit more iffy, but honestly, just the draw power of the Unfair Stamp against Golden Go is just like really nice on my side. Just to see a lot of cards is like pretty good. So that's pretty nice. And then, yeah, ended up top 128, 100th place. Charizard was a fine play for the tournament. Wasn't anything special. I'm happy with the list overall. The only thing that I would have really liked would be a 6th Fire Energy, but you know, you can only play 60 cards, so... I don't know. I don't even know how you find room for it, to be honest. Maybe second Iono, like I mentioned. A 6 Fire would be kind of cool, though. But everything else felt pretty good and, like, worked pretty well. That was kind of nice. It would be cool to cut the Monkey Dory, to be honest. It would be cool to cut the Monkey Dory. But the Monkey Dory was really good in the Grim matchups. And the Pulsard matchups. And the Guardian. Like, I don't know. The Monkey Dory is just so good. Monkey Dory such a broken card. I don't know if you can really cut it. I don't know if you can really cut it. Yeah, I don't know if you can really cut the card. That's pretty tough. Pretty tough. But yeah, could have played better overall, obviously. Don't think there was much I could have done against Cameron or Xavier here. Could have scooped faster against Andrew, I think. Oh, actually, no, Andrew, this maybe the matchup was like, I don't know if I could have done better. This tie is maybe just always a tie, to be honest. Oh, no, I could have like assumed Andrew played Watchtower. So I could have been a little bit better. I could have played a little bit better than Andrew. I don't know if it was going to like alter the tie. Could have played faster against Yurko. Could have scooped faster against Yurko. This could have definitely been turned into a win. I don't think there's much I could have done about the tie against Andrew. The losses to Cameron and Xavier, I'm not sure there's much that could have been done. Against Joshua, could have played better. Would have won this match. And then against Richard, once again, Poldzar, dude, this matchup is just so miserably slow. It's just like, it's just miserably slow. But who knows? If I just beat Yurko here, who knows how the rest of the tournament goes, right? Like, I could literally just have gone 14-0 because I just get different opponents, right? So it all comes back to, like, the initial mistake against Yurko at the end of the day. Could have played faster, could have scooped faster against Yurko. My whole tournament could have been different. Who knows? So, yeah. And that's it. That's my tournament run. That's Toronto.